Today we're going to go over how to do a CMA, and I am actually doing two CMAs today for two friends of mine. So it should be a pretty interesting one today. So let's get started. So the very first thing I want to do is I want to look up in RAIN and just find the property. So what I'm going to do first, we'll do the first one. It's 1904, and then it is Marta Court. So I put 1904 Marta, and I can actually see the past of the listings back in the day. So I can see the last time was actually sold in 2016. And actually, I think that is when my friends bought it. So I'm going to look at it. It last sold for 310. It's on the market 52 days. Sold 1120. No, sold 217.17. So they actually haven't even bought it that long ago. So it'll be interesting to see how much money they owe on it, to just see if we can even make it work, especially to see what we could sell for now. So what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to bring this over to RPR. Only realtors have this access, but I just want a quick evaluation, see what RPR says real fast before we start digging into it. So with RPR over here, it's saying it's roughly right around 330, in between 307 and 354. If I pull up the bigger map here, it'll show me some of the closer by properties. So I see 325, 325, 299, 306, or 316. Now if I click on it, it'll show me the differences of 4-bed, 2-bath, 2,000 square feet. This is 3-bed, 2-bath, 2,000 square feet. And this one right here is 4-bed, 2-bath, 2,000 square feet. So they're all roughly the same size house, except that one's quite a bit smaller, and so that makes sense why the price is down. That is smaller as well, and then that is smaller as well. So what I'm going to do next is, since I know the dimensions of the house, 3-bed, 2-bath, 2,061 square feet, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to actually create a search with this house here. So I'm going to go to search, residential, and then I'm going to go on within miles of and put in that address. Yes, it's the house I want, and then I'm going to select within a quarter mile. Now I want to put in roughly the same dimensions, so I'm going to put in the square feet first. Usually I like to go within 300 to 400 square feet of it. So if it said 2,064, I'll first look at 1,600, and let's put up to 2,460. Within that, and right here it's showing there's 3 active. What I want to do is I want to go to pending and sold and switch the sold to 365. Normally you want within 6 months, but I just want to see what's within the last year. So within the last year, there's 20 houses that are either sold, pending, or currently active, and we're going to pull it up here now. I may want to adjust this search a little bit. Even this all right here is the same neighborhood. Over here is a different neighborhood. It's all pretty similar, and same with over here. So these actually probably won't be bad comps, but I may want to include the rest of this neighborhood as well. So I'm actually going to go do that, and I'm going to click on the freehand polygon, and then just include, oh, no, I want this one. And then just include these as well. So this right here is a full neighborhood. And then I now be able to pull up the other comps. So now there's 47 within that square foot zone. So the next thing I know is this house is a 3-bedroom house. And anything that is probably in the 2,500s is probably going to price out of this house, but so might as well check. So we'll go to the square feet, and I'm going to start from the top. And you can see here, there's one that sold for 399, 379, 364, and all the square footage is quite a bit up there. So these won't be good houses in my opinion. This one may, but the 399, I know this house, I know this area. There's no way this house would sell for 399. This one right here is probably, yeah, it's pretty nice on the inside. But so is the house that I'm looking at, because I've been in there before. But I'm going to narrow this down. So I'm going to bring it down to 1,700, and then I'll bring this down to 2,360. Keep it within that 300 range. And then I'm looking for 3 to 4 bedrooms. And then the house that I was looking at, which is right here, This is actually the property. Has 2 full bathrooms. So I'm going to go between 1.5 and 2.5. And we still have 33 properties up here. So now I'm going to click on results, and then I'll probably see a lot of 2-story houses. So what I'm curious of is if there's a 1-story house that kind of is similar. So right now, all I'm doing is looking for something similar, and then that's where I'll be able to find the comps. Oh, 1.9. So 14 matches of a very, very similar house. This one's currently on the market for $332. It's been on the market 38 days. It says LLC, so this is probably a flipped home. Maybe it's not. It doesn't look flipped at all. Almost looks like someone took over for payments. This one will definitely not sell at this price, especially in that shape. So let's go to the next one. This one actually sold for $331. So let's look on the inside. And this one is pretty nicely done. Definitely not too bad. New flooring, new carpet, but that's about it. Ooh, we want to go back to this one. This one sold for $310, and there's only one photo here. So that shows me there's something going on with that house. So that $310 may be an off. It may not help us out. So let's check out this one. Not the best in my opinion, but it sold for $335 in 2 days. So that's pretty awesome. 4-bed, 2.5 bath, 2068 square feet. I almost want to look up to see where this is on the map real quick. All right, and then so I can see here that this house is on the other side of where this house is. This house is right here, but it's still fairly close. It's all within the same neighborhood. You can easily drive right to it. So I would say this is a pretty good comp at $335. And then here, let's look at this one. Ooh, that's nice. Now this is a problem though. It sold for $330, 4-bed, 2-bath, 2050 square feet. Super nice on the inside. New painting, new walls, new flooring. That is very nicely done. So this $330 will probably affect us quite a bit. But let's keep on looking. And you know what? We'll keep that as a comp. But that'll be something for me to look at inside the house and be like, okay, does ours look similar to this? This one again, new flooring, just paint, just flooring and paint, honestly. Nice yard. 338, so that's actually pretty good as well. 3 days on the market. This one, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1998. List price $339. Okay, it's not bad. Pretty good shape. That's pretty nice. But still active on the market. You know, I kind of like looking at solds a lot better. Like this one sold 3-bed, 2-bath, 1977 square feet for $315,000. Ooh, look at that. Dang. Yep. So one of these comps is going to be very, very tough for this house, solely because, I mean, we're looking at a super nice house here when obviously this one sold for $315, and then we look at this other one that sold for $335 when it was definitely not as nice on the inside. So the only difference I can think of is this is in the back of a cul-de-sac and has some land. But other than that, that price difference should not be that high. And if we look on a map, we'll see over here, this is the one that sold for $315. So this one, I guess you could say, is in a different area, but still, it's not that far from our subject property. Our subject property is this red dot right here. So that's what we're looking at. It's within 0.2 miles. Wellsford isn't over here, but it's still very nice in my opinion. So I want to keep it there. Let's look at this pending one real quick. At $350, 4-bed, 2-bath, 1844 square feet. Let's look on the inside. Extended driveway, that's nice. It's nice and done in the inside. It's pretty nice all around. Brand new tile. Very open. So I've sold a model exactly like this too in Ocean Lakes. That's super funny. So it's really nice on the inside. They did a great job. And then we'll definitely keep that on here. But the problem with pendings is it's at 350 when I don't know the contract price. So that makes it a little tougher. And then so that's why this one's probably listed at 350, honestly, because this is another 4-bed, 2-bath, 1820 square feet, and it was nicely done on the inside. So that's what everyone's trying to get now. So I'm not going to keep that since that is currently an active property. But this one's sold for 333, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1800 square feet. Very nice and open. Another one nicely done on the inside. Is that a green screen? Oh no, just a green wall. That's funny. Very nice. Though this camera right here is almost like a fisheye where it's making it look bigger, I can tell you this kitchen is not as big as you think. That's something, like just from this photo, you can see how big it really is. See these two?
Yeah.
When you look at this one, it's so much bigger. So that's stuff you guys got to watch out for as well.
Oh, I noticed that for Dan's open house.
Always, always, man. Photos are very deceiving. But it's sold for 333, and that is a good comp. And this one sold at 285. That is way low. 3-bed, 2-bath, 17, 18 square feet. Oh yeah, makes a lot of sense. It's original everything. So it's a good place to start. Here's one at 306, 3-bed, 2-bath, 17, 18 square feet. Very nice on the inside. Very clean.
They have so much crap on
Yeah, they do have. Yeah, they have a lot of stuff. But 306 is a good comp, though it was 300 square feet smaller than ours. But then again, we could almost look at the price per square foot, and we see 183.93 there. I'll go to the calculator, 183.93, and then ours was 2063. It's almost saying our house should sell for that, but it won't. It won't. So it's just funny to compare the two. But it's a good comp for right now. And that gives us the list of 14 comps that I would say are best in our area. If we pull them up on the map, we'll actually be able to see all the check marks that I just made and see how far all of them are to the house. Now we can see they're all pretty close. This one's the closest at 330, 4-bed, 2-bath. And it had 2050. So this is very, very similar to our house. Just has one less bedroom. The only problem is I know my people's house isn't as updated, and actually I could probably pull up the old listing and see how similar it looks now. I don't believe they did much work, so let's go back and pull that up. So we'll go to 1904 Arta, and then we're gonna go click on the old listing. I can click on the photo here. So this is their current house.
Is this house sided?
Yeah, it has siding.
Oh, I thought it was brick.
Yeah, that's siding. Looks like it needs a new roof though.
Yeah. I'm not saying it looks like, I thought it was brick, so I was gonna say it looks like that needs to be painted too.
So it doesn't look bad on the inside. Definitely not as nice. Well, okay. They've got nice stuff. Probably could use a paint job if they haven't painted it recently. Yeah. Oh wow, they tore all that down. So when I was back there, they didn't have any of this stuff here. So they just made that a deck. Okay, it's good to know.
What do you think? They probably had that there for like privacy from.
I guess so. It's hard to tell or why people do stuff sometimes, but right now what I want to do is I almost want to take an average of all of these sold. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the calculator, and I'm going to go see this one here sold for 335. Go to the next one. This one sold for 330. Oop. Go to the next comp. This one sold at 338. So far looking good for my people. Go to the next one I highlighted. So this one was at 315. So far we had 4 houses in there. Go to the next one. Oh, that one's pending. However, I don't know what it's pending at. Could easily be pending at 330. You never know. And then let's go to the next one that's sold. So this one sold at 333. So that's number 5. And this one sold for 306. And that's number 6. And I'm going to divide that by 6. And it tells me 326,250. So I would probably recommend starting at 329.9. Maybe we try and push the market a little more. But based on these comps, you know, it's pretty tough. I would say if this one at 350 was pending at 340 or 345 or even 350, it would definitely help them out. We can look at the active ones right now. There's the 3 active. There's one at 332 now. I don't believe this one will sell at that price. It looks like it needs updates everywhere. So they'll probably keep on dropping that price down. Then we'll get over here at 339. They originally started at 345. It's not as bad, but definitely still not as nice. Really, only that flooring. And that shower is nice, but again, it's one of those photos that's deceiving. It looks bigger than it is. So that one won't sell that price either. And then we'll go down to the other active one at 350. I don't believe this will sell at 350 either. It'll probably sell in the 330s or 340s because of how nice it is. But it's tough to say. So my people, honestly, we could start high, you know, we could almost start at 339.9 and say, all right, we'll work our way down to 329.9 where I believe it'll sell at, and then go from there. That's probably what they'll want to do because this is the next problem that we come into. Say if I say, all right, I believe it'll sell at 329K, but you know what, just to make you happy, we'll start at 339.9. This is the next problem. If I do 339.9, closing costs roughly is usually 10% of the purchase. So 10% of that is 33,990. When we subtract 339.9 minus 339.9, that means they're left over with 305,910. What I'm going to do over here is look in Realist and pull up what how much of their mortgage that they actually took out on this house. So I can see here it's John Richards, that is the husband that I'm meeting with today. And then the sale, it doesn't even show the sale price. Here we go, mortgage amount, 316.
That was over the purchase price.
Sometimes with a VA loan, it goes over the purchase price. So we run into some problems here. 665. Say if we want to sell at 339.9, and I mean, shoot, they've only been in there since February 2017, which means they've only been there a year and a half, which means they've probably only taken off like $2,000 or $3,000 on the principal of their loan.
Oh, are you selling it for 39 or 29?
No, like I would say if we started at 339.
Oh, okay.
You know, say we started at 339.9, and then, you know, after closing costs, we're down to 305, but their mortgage is at 314. You know what? Like we're not going to be able to sell it because they would have to bring $10,000 to the table, and it wouldn't make sense. And I've been on so many of these appointments, it's not even funny, where people just can't sell because they have no equity in the house. And that's the problem with VA loans sometimes, is this house sold for 310, okay? But the mortgage amount is 316,665. 6.5 grand over list price, which means that right there kind of screwed them on just trying to break even on selling, I don't think. I mean, if we sold at the 329 mark, it's going to be a lot worse from there. Say we do 329.9, closing costs going to be 32,990, and now we're at 296. If their break even is 310, they'd be losing $13,000. So it doesn't make sense, in my opinion, for them to sell for like the next 2 to 3 years, which kind of sucks. So in my opinion, since these people almost want to get out now to where they rent out their house for the next 2 to 3 years with us, and from there, that's when we go ahead and just help them out. And then when they're ready to sell it, that's when we help them sell and break even. So that's what I would recommend to them now. If they wanted to sell now, be like, look, don't sell. If you got to get out. We'll rent it out. We'll take care of it. You go do what you got to do. And then when time comes when we think we can break even, we'll go ahead and tell you now's the time. So that's the unfortunate part of what we do sometimes, but they've got to know. So this was comp number 1. If we say 339 to 329, that's the range I'm going to give it, even though I believe it'll set at 329. And then it really depends on what they owe. So when I go to their house later, I told them to have prepared what they owe on the house, and from there we'll be able to figure out. But we'll go to the next property now. This one I know they'll make money on, so that is always a good thing.
Is this the same people?
No, different person. So this is a completely different person. This is a different property. So I'm going to go ahead and pull all that info up now. All right, so this property address is 210 Derby Road. And then so I can see here, oh yeah, this is in P-Town. So they bought it for $95,000, and they bought it as a flip as well. But what's funny is the inside of the house actually looks the exact same. They haven't done anything different. They're very clean people. So, oh wait, that fence is gone right there. That's funny. Yeah, okay, they finished this room off too. Garage looks the same. Okay, so it looks the same for the most part. And then we'll see that they bought this in on 4/20, 2012. Yeah, that's funny. But they bought it in 2012, so about 7 years ago. So that's actually pretty good. 7 years to build some equity in it. And when this was originally listed at 130, solid deal by them. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up on RPR just because I'm curious on what RPR says, what the house is worth. And you can see here RPR said 330 on that house. You know, RPR is usually pretty close. And I said between 329 and 339. RPR says here 103. However, it's given it 1 star, which means it's not entirely sure. So now that's where I'm going to have to go in and go do my rain search just like I did on the last one and try and figure out what we could possibly sell it for. All right. So I'm going to do the same exact process. I'm going to copy this. And then now I'm going to go ahead and do a search for it. And then try and select the houses around it. So I'm going to plug in this house, enter that. And then I'm going to pull up the pending sold and sold in the last 365. Okay. And then now I know here this is a 2-bed, 1-bath, 755 square feet. It's a very small house. However, it's actually very useful. We go there to hang out all the time. It's actually pretty cool. So I'm looking for places that are 2 to 3 bed, 1 to 1. We'll put 1 to 2 bath. And for square feet, we'll put between 600 and we'll make it 1,200 between the two. So I can see here there's actually 6 within a 1/4 acre or 1/4 mile, sorry. And let's look on the map real fast to see where this is. We want to try and keep it within the same neighborhood. This is a completely different neighborhood over there. So I do not believe we want that. we'll try and keep it within. You know what? Let's extend this to about 0.4. Okay. You know what? Greenwood Drive is usually the difference maker here. So we'll actually take all these properties out. We're going to exclude this shape. So then we have these properties. And let's look at some of these real quick. These are all pretty similar. So we'll keep these in here. And then I need to take those out real fast. So you really got to know your area too to know which neighborhoods are similar and which ones aren't, because that'll come in handy for sure. So now we've got all the houses here. We can see all the ones that are active. The one that is most is for 141. And let's look on the inside real quick. So this is a 3-bed, 1-bath, 1,100 square feet. Looks very nice on the outside. Looks nice on the inside. This was staged, and it looks like it was flipped. But it's pretty nice, honestly. The only difference I would say is that one extra bedroom. What is this? What? I don't even think they're allowed to do this. All right, well, if you guys ever want to submit a rain violation, this is the time to do it. But anyway, so this is listed at 141. It's been on the market 82 days. It was originally listed at 149, so it's not going to sell at this, even though it's trying to say everything's new. But let's look at the other properties real fast. And actually, let's see how far away that one is. That one's not entirely far away, but it is on the other side of the highway, even though this neighborhood is pretty similar. If we look at this one's at 124. 3-bed, 1-bath, 864 square feet, so pretty similar. Let's look on the inside. Again, I would say not as updated as ours. Definitely not as big as a yard. So I would say ours is probably a little better in this instance. And then let's look at this one. Here's one at 120, 3-bed, 1-bath. This is another flip because that's LLC. Let's look on the inside. Ooh, not a flip. Yikes. Okay. A little scary. I don't think it'll ever sell at this price. I'm not sure what's going on, but pending at 120. You know, that's the thing about when agents look at the pending. This could easily be pending at 100,000, 90,000. You just don't know until the contract date. So I'm not going to trust that. But by looking at those, you know, I would believe that we could just even list at 129. Maybe not 129 because this one is listed 3-bed, 1-bath. It's a smidge bigger, but ours is definitely better in every way. Their bathroom is super nice too. It has like one of those electrical things by the shower where you can like choose the temperature for the water in the shower. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Their stuff's legit. But let's look at these other properties real quick. We'll look at 110, 14, 15, 19, 20. I want to look at all of these. Just want to see how they compare. So this is 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,000 square feet. Pretty similar to ours, except this is definitely a lot nicer. So it makes sense why it sold for 154.9. Look at this one, 3-bed, 1.5-bath, 1,100 square feet. So this is quite a bit bigger. Let's look on the inside. Definitely updated as well, so that doesn't compare either. It's 3-bed, 1-bath, 1,100. Cabinets are pretty tasteful, but 149, I don't believe we'll be able to get that. This one's listed at 141. We looked at that. Let's look at this one, 3-bed, 1.5-bath, 131 square feet, or 131 sale price. Pretty nice on the inside. We'll keep on going. Again, another one that is super nice on the inside. This one sold for 124.9, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,160. So that kind of hurts my people rate there on this one. though that one is on the highway. Actually, never mind. So if this wasn't on the highway, like the George Washington Highway, this would probably be listed for a lot more, honestly. And then we'll see here. This one's the active listing, 124.5, but I would say we'd be above that. This one's pending at 120, but we don't know what they're pending at. This one sold for 122, 2-bed, 1-bath, 755. So that's good. That's this is a really solid, very close to ours. Let's look on the inside real quick. So newer siding, garage is pretty similar. Inside is pretty similar. Bathroom not as nice. Our bathroom is better. And then let's see the kitchen. A million photos. Okay, and our kitchen is better as well. Just a little better. Their fridge doesn't really have a place. Just kind of there. See that? Yeah. Definitely weird. And in the backyard, I would say they're pretty similar in size because they do have a really big one. But when looking at this, you know, I would say this is our best comp right here. I'm going to uncheck everything else and just check that one and then keep looking. Here's another one, 2-bed, 1-bath, 744 square feet. So again, a very similar house. New carpet, looks good on the inside. This is actually a very, very nice house. It's a smaller kitchen, but it was well done. Wonder what the bathroom looks like. Bathroom, again, not as nice. Sink is extremely small. So we win in instance against the bathroom again, but it's another good comp. And then this is another one, 2-bed, 1-bath, 744 square feet. Freshly done everywhere. This is super nice. That is a very nice house. And that only sold for 110, so that one's actually pretty shocking. When did that sell? That sold back in March. I'm shocked that one sold for that little. That makes no sense. When all the other ones sold for a lot more. Which one was that? Oh, okay. That makes sense because it's pretty close to the highway. So usually when it all depends on location, honestly. This one I like a lot. It's very, very close to their house. Sold for 122. Ours is a little bit better. So honestly, just by looking at this stuff, I would want to start at 129.9 solely because I would want to push the market. And this one is at 124.5, but it's definitely not as nice. We may sell at 124.5, but definitely no less than this 122. So I'm going to put it between 129.9 and 122. That would be my price zone. And next, I would want to figure out what they would make out of it. Now, when I was talking to him, I believe he said something that he owed right around $88,000. When I looked down at his mortgage over here, his mortgage was $495,000. No, my bad. $97,000. That was the mortgage. But it's been 7 years, so I think he said it's right around $87,000 for what he owes. So just say we sell, let's just say 125 to be right in the middle of the two. At 125, closing costs right around, let's say 10.5% because they're probably going to ask for 3.5% closing cost assistance. So we'll put 0.105. So closing costs would be roughly 13,000. 13,125. So if we sold at 125 and took the 13,125, we're left with 111,875. And if he owed 87,000, subtract 87, and he will walk away with 24,875. And which is good. When I was talking to them, you know, they wanted us to make roughly between 20,000 and 30,000, which is really good. But let's just say if we did sell at the 122 with 10.5% closing cost assistance, or just closing costs in general, 12.8. We'll take that 12.8 minus 122, and that's 109,190. And then we'll take the 87,000 and he would walk away with 22,000. So even at the 122, it's a win. Let's go to the 129.9. I'm just curious to see what we'd be at. $13,639 for closing costs, and then we'll take the 129.9 at 116, and then we'll add 87,000, and they would make pretty close to the 30,000. So if here 42K, here we'd be at 29,260. So that's awesome. You know, my friends here, they would actually do very well coming out with it, because then they could take some of that money and pay off some debt that they have, and use it as a down payment for the new house, and still have money left over. So that's how I do the two comps. You know, it's kind of all over. It's not like a legit report that I come out with. You know, what I'll do is I'll actually print out these comps here and show them the houses that I found are very close to theirs. I'll actually print this exact page out right here with the 3 blue highlighted. That way they can see what I'm looking at, and then show them photos of each 3 and be like, how do we compare? Walk through their house to see now if there's anything that hurts us or anything that adds value, or if there's anything that I think that we can do to help them change the value. Like if I think if we added $2,000 worth of paint and it'll add $3,000 to $4,000 in the price, then it's well worth it. Now they're going to make $2,000 more, even though they're spending $2,000. So it's stuff like that. This is the initial ballpark of what I think we'll sell at. The next step would be me going to the house now, checking it out, and figuring out what we can do to add value, or what devalues it, and what can we do to offset that. So I hope you guys learned a lot today. If you guys have any questions, just reach out, and I'm always here to help. Take care, guys.